Hey crocheters, so let's do an update on my Caron Cakes leftover yarn blanket. Okay, so this is all the leftovers from the Caron Cakes I've used in the last couple years, right? Now the blanket is folded in half so I can have it on the floor. Now these are all the leftovers from my recent crochet along, and I'm adding them to my blanket. So I have a few minutes right now. I'm going to sit and play with some yarn, and I'm going to plan out where the next colors go. Sounds like fun, right? So I find the best way to do this is to lay everything out on the floor and, yes, crawl around on the floor with the blanket. Okay. Let's see, I don't need to know about the middle parts. So I've got some neutral grays going on, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do next. And I think I'm going to do some darker purples next to the gray. That's not purple, that's blue. And like that. And then, what do I want next to the purple? I think I'm going to save the greens for last. Some blue? Maybe I should do some blues next. Hide them in there. Some neutrals. Maybe. Ooh, yes, there we go. Oh, I like that. Black like that. There. And then that. And then that. And those for the border. Okay. That works for me. Alright, so I have a darker shade of purple I'm going to put next to the gray, and then there's blue. I might actually, this ball of blue is bigger than that little one up there, so I might cut this in half and add some more up on that end of the blanket. And then I've got this blue right here. It's a gray slate blue with some purple. Might switch those, about that, and then that. And then more neutrals, but this one is the mauve that's got some gray undertones. This is that rosy pink, some neutral cream, and then the lightest shade of green. Then on this side, let's do this bright shade of purple, and I'll add some of the other blue to this one. And this is the darkest shade of blue. And then I've got these little bits right here. Mauve, purple, a little bit of purple, and some pink. I just mix all those together. And then this is a gray. This is the palest shade of pink. This is cream with some green specks in it. And then this from pistachio. And then those three right there, I'm going to use them on the border. because I would like to put a nice thick border on this blanket, and I want it to be all cream and soft whites. So there. Now I've got my colors all planned out. Now there is always a possibility this is not set in stone. I may change my mind on how I place them when I'm working on it, so I'll get back to you guys later. So the view from my lap today, I'm sitting on the floor right where I had all the yarn laid out. My ring light's on. It's nice and sunny outside. So I'm sitting on the floor, nice and comfortable. Added in the purple, which I think it looks really well next to the gray. See if you guys can sit and watch. Nice and simple, single crochets back and forth, row after row. No counting, no complicated patterns. Single crochet, single crochet. You don't even have to count. Yeah, well, my yarn did split. Alright, last stitch of the row, chain one, because it's just a single crochet, and turn. Bunch it all up, keeps this ball of yarn from rolling away from me. It stays all bunched up in the blanket. Single crochet in the first stitch, the second stitch, and in every stitch across. So for me, when my blanket reaches a certain size, I like to sit on the floor, because this way I can spread the blanket out, I can see what it looks like and see if there's any changes I'd like to make. or if something went wrong. You know, it's a good way to see when it's spread out in front of you while you're working on it. And it keeps the weight off my lap, and it keeps me from getting warm and overheated, because I'm not a cold person, I am a warm person. Even though I love making blankets, I don't like all that warmth in my lap. With the camera that I film on, I don't have a flip out screen in the back. I mean, it angles down, but it doesn't flip out so I can see it, so I never know if anything's in frame. I just do my best guess. If it works out, then you guys will see it in the video. If it doesn't work out, I cut it all out and do something else. So, okay, I like to sit on the floor when the blanket gets big. Where do you guys like to sit and crochet? Do you have a chair just for crocheting, or do you do it anywhere in the house? Your living room, your bedroom, your dining room? Where's your favorite place to sit down and crochet? So, since I'm sitting here working with one of the shades of purple, and it's one of the darker shades, I look at my blanket. So all the other shades of purple, the medium, the light, and how it's in the blanket. And Caron did a really good job with their shades of purple. I think they're all very pretty. I haven't seen one shade of purple that I don't like. Alright, so time for a color change. I am done with the darker purple, and I'm adding in this royal blue. I gotta tell you guys, I love this blanket. This is the one blanket that I'm keeping. There's something about multicolored stripes that just make me so happy. So, I'll see you guys in a bit. Hey crocheters, so it is the next day after my last update, and I was doing, my blanket was up here to this grayish color, and then I did the purple, blue, and then a second shade of blue, which is right here. It's like a dark slate blue, and then a shade of purple, and then this, a little bit gray, a little bit beige, and then of course that dusty rose, and then a soft white, and then this pale shade of green. So what I did was I actually crocheted from this purple to this soft white yesterday until last night, and then when I got up this morning after I took the kids to school, I did the green. Okay, So that's some marathoning crocheting, and my rotator cuff is sore today. My arthritis is sore today. So no crocheting today. I'm resting my hands, resting my arms. But this side of the blanket is completely done. The green was so nice to end for me at the end of the row. How neat is that? When you're making a blanket full of leftovers, when it actually ends at the end of the row, that is so nice. So if you remember, like this is the brick red when I originally started the blanket, and I decided I didn't want it to be the end color and the first color, so I flipped the blanket upside down and started working this way and working that way at the same time. So I've been working on both sides of this blanket. I just do one side, flip over, do the other side, but I wanted to get this side done. Here's all the last of my leftovers that will be going on this end of the blanket. Okay, it will almost be like a mirror image of what's down here on this side, but going that way. It'll be purple and blue, and then odds and ends, and then some more blue, and then some neutrals, and then soft white, and then the green from the pistachio. And then my blanket will be done, and then I can do a nice thick border on it. I want to do the same thing, like these are all single crochets. I want to do single crochets on the edge of the blanket, and I want it nice, and I want a really thick border to it. So that's my update for today. No crocheting today because I have to rest my arm. But I got to tell you, when I'm sitting and I'm working on this blanket, I mean, it's folded in half right now, so it's bigger than this, okay? When I'm working on it, these colors just make me so happy, so stupid happy. I get all the feels in my heart with this. I'm loving this blanket. It's absolutely beautiful. The company Caron that made the Caron Cakes made an awesome yarn. I wish they would branch out and make solid colored cakes, or even in a skein, in a ball, in a hank. I don't care how they wind it up. If they made them in solid colors, I would buy it because it's a beautiful yarn. Their shades and their tones, absolutely beautiful. Those peachy colors with the greens and those light shades of blue, I love them. The ones that are in the middle of the blanket. This section right here is my favorite. I love this peachy. And there's this orange has peach undertones, and this shade of blue and this shade of green goes really well next to this shade of really light brown. I mean, the purple, the orange, the green right here looks like Halloween. I'm so in love with this blanket, with the leftovers that I'm putting into this blanket. I absolutely love them. So, resting my arms and my hands today, and I will get back to the crocheting tomorrow, and I will give you guys color updates then. Bye. Okay, crafters, so I'm working on my blanket, and I wanted to show you, I did the dark purple, and I ended actually just a couple stitches away from the end of the row, or the beginning of the row, and then I had this one bit of purple. When I added it in, it only gave me about 16 stitches, so it was only like maybe 12-15 inches long, but I wanted to show you that I am literally using every scrap of yarn that's left over from my Caron Cakes. And then I added in this royal blue, which is still just such an eyesore, but I'm using it anyway. And it's gone all the way down, but it didn't quite finish the row. So this blanket it really is. I mean, I love it when I get a big color block, you know, those are nice. But every now and then, I get something that looks like this, and it doesn't bother me. I'm alright with that. Because I have a spot further back here where the colors just do not match up, and they were all over the place, you know? See? Because I didn't get much out of them. So I'm loving this shade of purple here. Hey crocheters, I'm not quite sure where I left off with my last color update. So we're just gonna go with, I did the purple, I did a little bit of the royal blue, then I did the darker blue, then more of the royal blue. I wanted to split up that blue, I didn't want a big chunk of it. And then there's a little bit of tan, and then there's a little bit of pink, and then this really light shaded dusty pink, plus right here I get about, I don't know, 40 stitches of green. It's a really pale minty green from the other side. There you go. So I'm getting ready to add in this color here. It is, it's the mix of tan and beige and gray. And then after this one, I've got 2 more balls to add in, and then the blanket will be sort of done, because then I have to work on the border. So I'll come back and give you an update later. Hey crafters, this is days and days later after my last update. Had to put the blanket down for a couple days. I don't even remember the last color update I gave you. I just did this. It's a creamy color, but the lights are on, so it's looking yellow. I mean, it's probably got yellow undertones to it. I'm getting ready to add in my last ball of yarn, my last color, pistachio, and then the blanket will be so close to done. After that, it's the border. Just wanted to show you guys the view from my lap as I'm crocheting. Okay, this is, like, see how the colors just all fold in on each other. It's been so wonderful to work on this blanket. It's been such a joy for me. I wanted to show you what it looks like, because it's all piled up on my lap. Isn't she pretty? Okay. Hey crocheters, so last color update. I don't know when the last time I lost track of days. I don't know when I gave you the last update. So this is the pistachio. It is the last ball of Caron Cakes that I had from the leftovers. Well, not technically. I've got 3 balls of the creamy white that I'm going to be using for the border. But for the blanket, for the body of the blanket, that's the last of the pistachio, right? That's all I got left. But I'm actually not too far from the end of the row. So my options are to take this and rip this back out to the beginning of the row, or I can find some compatible yarn to finish out this row. And I'm going to do that because I want my blanket as big as possible. So I have here some Red Heart Super Saver. I know that's upside down. And the color is Tea Leaf. It's not a perfect match color-wise, and I don't want it to be because my blanket is multicolored anyway. So I'm going to be using the Tea Leaf. I'm going to finish the row going this way, and then I'll do 1 more row of the Tea Leaf, and then that is it, and then it'll be time to work on the border. Okay, crafters, I have completely changed my mind. I do not want to use the Tea Leaf color, that green color. I do not. I am going to do what I like to do and add in some pink. Okay, this is, it's still Red Heart Super Saver, so it's 100% acrylic. It is their color called Light Raspberry, even though I'm missing the label. I know what it is. I'm going to put some light raspberry there. Yep. I figure it's my blanket. This is the one blanket that I'm keeping. I can put in any color I want. And you know what? I think I like the pink. Alright, crocheters, I was right. I like the pink next to the green. I think it is so cute and so adorable. So, I finished out the row with the pink. And then I did 1, 2, 3, 4 more rows. Give me a nice good color block. And that is it. That is the end of the body of my blanket. So it is on to the border. Hi. Sorry. Allergies. So this is my Caron Cakes leftover yarn blanket. So I started originally, well, it doesn't matter where I started. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like now that it's all done. Okay? Well, not all done. I still have to do the border.